This company, Google, started in a small way not long ago and has come to a level where it practically influences in every aspect of life almost everyone on earth. I have observed this as I travel around. Even little swamis like me, when I come to speak somewhere, almost everyone says, I Googled you before I came. What to speak of buying things for the household or making investments. Such a great power of influence your company has on so many lives throughout the world. I'd like to begin by speaking something about networking from the perspective of nature. Just a few days ago, I took a walk with one of my very dear friends to a redwood forest. Have you been to Muir Woods? Every year I go with one of my dear friends while I'm in this area to the Muir Woods, just to get away from everything in the beauty of nature. And there, some of the largest and greatest trees in the entire planet have been standing for hundreds or even thousands of years old. And as you're walking along the little pathways, the bark of the trees is so thick, and there's so many such trees. Hardly any sun comes down because it's blocked by all the leaves and branches. And footsteps are kind of absorbed in this thick bark. So it's a very mystical silence. And as we were walking, we came to one of the largest trees in the forest. There was a group of Chinese tourists in a circle around a park ranger. And I happened to stand just behind the tourist to hear what he was saying. He was about to tell what he said, the underground secret of the redwood trees. Now, an American coming from the 1960s, I still have an inclination to hear underground secrets. And he asked a question. He began by telling how these trees in this forest have stood over hundreds or thousands of years through massive snowstorms, windstorms, and devastating earthquakes. And yet they keep growing bigger and higher and higher and higher. Now, for most trees to have strength, they need roots that go very, very deep. But the redwood trees, their roots do not grow very deep. And they're in an area with very loose soil. And it's a hilly region. How do they withstand these storms and earthquakes and keep growing? Then he paused for about a minute so that we could all ponder this question. How do they survive? And as I was pondering, I was thinking of all the storms that come in life, individually, collectively, socially, nationally, internationally. Then he revealed the secret. The roots of the redwood tree, they grow outward underground, reaching for the roots of other redwood trees. And as soon as they come in contact with each other, they intertwine and make permanent bond between them. They're interlocked. This means that one tree is locked in its root system with another tree on one side, and on another side with other trees. And the trees that are on the other sides of the trees that they're interlocked with are interlocked with other trees. And the little baby trees, their little tiny roots, these big ancient giants wrap their roots around them. In this way, practically every tree in the forest is connected. Their unity is their strength. Even through storms, winds, and earthquakes, they hold each other up and keep growing and growing and growing. This is nature's lesson of networking. United we stand, divided we fall. In our lives, our heart is like where our roots are. And when the roots of our care, our concern, our affection actually connect with each other, we can develop such incredible strength. Even when the storms come, the storm of temptation, the storm of fear, the storm of reversals and challenges, we can hold each other strong. And this is very much a spiritual principle. There's a very beautiful verse in the Bhagavad Gita. When I first heard this, I thought, this is what I've always been looking for. You see, I was born in a Jewish family near Chicago. And in my life, I had a natural inclination towards spirituality. But I saw so much hate and division in the name of a loving God. This was extremely disturbing to me. Either I have to reject the whole concept altogether, or is there something deeper? Something that actually is there in an essence that unites us and awakens real character and real love. Something common. I believed in that essence, and I was seeking that essence. This is written about in this little book I wrote. I hitchhiked from London through Europe, through the Middle East, traveled through India, studying various religions under various masters, trying to find that essence. And a particular verse in the Bhagavad Gita, when I heard it, I was thinking, yes, this is what the world needs. And this is what I need. Would you like to hear that verse? In Sanskrit, Vidyavanaya Sampane Brahmanika Bihastini. Suni Chaiva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshana. Real wisdom. It is defined not by how much data we collect within our brains. Real wisdom is not how many degrees we have. Real wisdom is not how many followers we have. It is to the extent we have the capacity to see every living being with equal vision. Whether one is man or woman, black, white, red, yellow, or brown, whether one is from the east or the west, whether one is a Christian or a Jew or a Muslim or a Hindu or a Jain or a Buddhist or a Zoroastrian or a Sikh or an agnostic or an atheist, whether one, the Gita goes so far to say, whether one is a human or an elephant or a cow or a dog or a cat, wherever there is life, it is sacred. Life is sacred. When we understand how our own life is sacred, we will understand that sacredness and respect it wherever we experience life. In every tree, in every plant, in every living being.